Rachel. I'm one of the 2 students who went to Horizon this year, and I'm going to share my testimony of this year's Horizon. So, after the Horizon 2016 had finished, I had so much hope and faith about what God was going to do in my life, but I didn't fully devote my life to God at the callings in Horizon. Throughout the rest of the year in 2016 and part of 2017, I had many ups and downs. For example, sometimes I could have been having the best times in my life, but then sometimes suddenly someone could ruin it. It could be either me or someone else. People might say things that could be funny to them, but then to me it could sound hurtful. But I might do the same thing without realizing it. But during these times, I usually don't think about God, which is a problem, and that makes the situation worse. During the 2017 Horizon Retreat, I felt the same amazing experience as last year's Horizon. The praise was amazing as always, and every sermon was very informational, and I learned a lot of new facts from the Bible, and I also learned a lot from Pastor Ray's stories. I also went to every morning prayer except the last day. During the morning prayers, I really enjoyed sharing how I felt about God because I knew the people around me wouldn't judge me, and I also knew that the pastor that I was praying with would help me in any way possible to become closer to God. During the quiet times with my small groups, we all shared about the topic we had. And I realized that I wasn't the only one who was doubting God in my group. And I learned a lot from my small group members, and they also learned a lot about me. During the praise and worship time, I gave the Lord everything I had. I praised with my arms up, bouncing to the beat. On the last night of the retreat, I went down to the calling, and before I knew it, I was telling God about all my problems and things I did sinful and asked Him for forgiveness. In the end of all the praying and praising, I felt really refreshed and glad I told God my problems. After the Horizon Retreat, it was actually better than I expected it to be. I think God helped me feel relieved about the guilt and sins I had from last year. Even if it is still there, it doesn't bother me as much as before. The last 2 weeks after Horizon have been pretty great. Sometimes I can forget about God's presence when I am at school or I'm out with friends, but no matter what, each day I have at least one time to connect with God. I hope this keeps continuing throughout the school year and over the next summer. I hope that next year, if I go to Horizon, I could have a better experience and learn much more about God.